Good morning. Sometimes August can be very hot. I haven't checked out the predicted temperatures, but it actually seemed a little bit cooler even last night. And now in the water, it was nicely refreshing there for the swim. You see the cows up on that hill. It's a while since we've been up there. And you'd say, what are they grazing up there? But in Ireland, you store the hay dry, but here it's available, dried, still rooted in the ground. But actually, we also had what we called a winterage when I was a child. That year, my brother reclaimed all that area, and then it was untilled, and it was let grow. And then in the winter time, the cattle would go there to graze. But obviously with all the rain, then it didn't go totally dry. So I'm taking you to another little spot this morning with good reason. Maybe you have noticed with children and parents, it happens surely automatically, by the force of love, that when a child does something mischievous or wrong, that the parents are, they have obviously different consequences the child experiences because of their misbehavior. But then the parents always find a way to show love, that the child, that was also love, to show them how that misbehavior is not the right way to go. But the parents find a way to show affection, to show that they're on the side of the child, and there's a little swing, an ebb and a flow between demands and making points, educating in behavior, but also showing that personal affection, that hug, that smile, that celebration moment of other aspects of the life. So the child realizes that it's good to be good. It's good to be good. It's the right way to live. At the very beginning of the scriptures, we have the fall of Adam and Eve, and then the consequences, Cain and Abel. That horrible division of humanity that comes from every turn away from God. And God's people follow the same pattern in their turning away from God. They break up. They fall into disunity, and they're scattered. They become prisoners. The consequences of turning away from God, it hurts us. We're hurt by turning away from God. And so the same pattern happens in our spiritual lives. We may be asked to carry the cross more as we grow in friendship with God. The greater the faith, the greater the ability to endure, the greater the relationships, the readiness to bear burden for others, to bear burden for fidelity. Family members will make huge sacrifices for family members when there's need, when there's trouble. Spouses will do extraordinary sacrifices for each other. Siblings and families. You know how sometimes a family will even sell a property to provide health care because the person, that's love, the nature of love. And the love for God, the knowledge of God leads also to great humility, great patience. Love is patient, love is able to bear burdens. And here we have Jeremiah giving that consolation to the people that God is going to bring them back. They need to turn back. And then the reason I came over here today was for the gospel reading, because we've had the miracle of the feeding of the multitude at the Sea of Galilee. And Jesus is going to end up again at the Sea of Galilee. And meanwhile, he goes on a trip today to Phoenicia, outside the land of Israel, Tyre and Sidon. And so we have the Syro-Phoenician woman, and her daughter is deeply troubled, and she asks Jesus to relieve the daughter. My daughter is deeply troubled. Come and relieve her. Come and free her. Come and heal her. And there's a surprising expression of Jesus. He ignores her. And then the disciples asked Jesus to do something to get involved. And he said, it's not right to give the food of the children to the dogs. When we would finish at home our meal, all the leftovers, the first leftovers would go to the dog, and then all the leftovers would be left over. And from the cleaning of the food, preparing it for cooking, that would all go to the pigs. And the woman said, well, even the dogs get the crumbs that fall from the children's table. And this moved Jesus immensely. Just a little note about the geography. If we look out here between the restaurant that's going to be built, God willing, at some point, and the wing there of the rooms, and we see those mountains. Those mountains are on the border between Israel and Lebanon. They're in the news very much worldwide nowadays with all the tensions. And we keep praying for peace, but we don't need another war. We just need to have definitive good relationships with everybody. Wars don't fix anything. And that boundary between Israel and Lebanon, that chain of mountains, goes all the way to the coast, off to the west, keep going over to the west, way off. It's quite a long stretch, and then you go about 40 miles north to get to Tyre and Sidon, along the coast, the Lebanese coast. So that's a long walk from Galilee to go there. And then Jesus comes back again. We'll have that tomorrow. And here we have, I want to show you something from yesterday, just to show you the relationships, especially for those who haven't been here. Those who have been on pilgrimage can understand that more easily. They have been in the places. Yesterday was Mount Tabor, and here we have Mount Tabor represented. This map is not accurate in terms of spatial proportions. It's inaccurate, but because it's an artistic map and it's done with mosaic and all the rest of it, so it's challenging to represent all the spaces well. So there's Mount Tabor, and here we have Nain, which is the village where the widow had lost her son, and Jesus raised him from the dead. And then we have Nazareth. And this is a representation of the famous biblical story of going to check out the fruits, the scouts, when they were coming into the promised land. But this is out of place here. But obviously this scene is just in Galilee, so putting in a biblical theme there. And then we have Cana. And so, and then we have the Sea of Galilee over there. So Nazareth is southwest of the Sea of Galilee, and a bit more southwest than the map represents here. And then we have Mount Tabor, is also south and east of Nazareth. And Cana, in that relationship here, are more or less well proportioned geographically. So that's where we were yesterday with Mount Tabor and the Transfiguration. 1.5 million pieces of stone. The red stones are from Iran, can you imagine? And the stones here from Kashmir and from Brazil and from Chile and from the Jura Mountains in Germany and from Italy, a lot of countries, because Maria Jesus, the artist, wanted to have the best color stones in nature on the planet, and from those she selected, from the various candidates for each color, she selected the stones that would be the most enduring, the best substance with all the temperature swings. So this woman had such strong faith, her love for her daughter, and combined with her faith in Jesus, in God's presence, in God's will to do work, to do things, to do good for her daughter. What a wonderful miracle. And Jesus allows her, like a good coach, to go through a couple of extra tests to develop and express that faith powerfully. And Jesus brought this example of faith for us. A woman from the nations, not from the chosen people, expressed this faith. And this woman also is a wonderful example of parental love. And we see the power of the parents' love to bring a daughter back from a very difficult condition and situation. So let's leave it like that for today, people. I wish you a lot of blessings. Maybe you want to get one little glimpse of this here. We haven't done that for a while. To see this beautiful artwork and this reflection here. And imagine God wanting to restore the fullness and the beauty of the image of every human being. More as the message of the Transfiguration as well, and in the humanity, to have a radiant humanity. Humanity that's expressing all the delight that God wanted in his creator, like the delight every parent wants to have in their child. Imagine parents when they see their child win an Olympic medal, the joy and the delight, the fulfillment, the satisfaction. And this mother has that for her daughter today. People, God bless you. See you later, alligators. We could almost finish there today because we have the sun in the picture anyway. God bless you.